colleagues, dear ambassadors, excellencies, parliament members, I am honored to invite Dr. Narek Mkrtchyan, Minister of Labor and Social Affairs of Republic of Armenia, to deliver opening address. Dr. Mkrtchyan is also a scholar and has written many academic articles about Eurasian international relations in well-known journals. Recently, he made an official visit to China and met with governmental bodies. I hope Minister Mkrtchyan will share with us some thoughts on it. It is also my pleasure to give him a present our last book, which is entitled China and Eurasian Powers in a Multipolar World Order. Dear Minister, please, the floor is yours. And here is our book for you. Thank you for your coming.
Your Excellencies, dear professors, distinguished guests, first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Barseghyan for inviting to this international and important conference. So today we gather here for a significant conference on Eurasian research with particular focus on modern China and Eurasia. The conference has unique significance within the landscape of Eurasian geopolitics and economic integrations. And talking about the modern China, it's impossible to avoid the discourse on the concept of the Belt and the Initiative. Today, so recently I Googled, and the number of the countries that have joined and signed MOUs with China to cooperate on the Initiative of Belt and the Road, the number is 151, and Armenia was among the first countries to support this initiative. So these results come to confirm eminent scholar Kishore Mahbubani's conceptualization of Belt and Road Initiative, which according to him represents more than just an economic endeavor. It signifies a fundamental shift in global geopolitical dynamics, challenging establishing norms where the economy of China is central. Now we are the witness of changing world order, and it is to the point that today's discussion will also revolve around the emerging concept of multipolar world order. So when looking at the program of the conference, I noticed that some scholars from the Fudan University also attending. So I remembered the conceptualization of the multipolar world order by another professor from the Fudan University, so Zheng Weiwei, according to whom multipolar world order 2 framework marks a departure from a single global power dominating the stage to a world with multipolar centers of influence. It rejects old theories of hegemonic stability in favor of diversified global governance model. Talking about modern China and Eurasia, it's impossible to bypass discussions on the projects that are important in forging new regional cooperation. And in this regard, research on the Eurasian Economic Union, again, is another important case in point. But the landscape of all of these complexities are being transformed because of technological transformations, particularly within the context of digital and AI innovations. Technological era creates new model of military, technical cooperation, and cyberspace governance. And we have to think about the new concepts like cyber realpolitik or like evolution of international cyber law and norms. So this conference has a potential to enrich the scholarly discourse on Eurasian geopolitics, economic integration, and on developing relations between Armenia and China. And recently I had an official I know that recently, throughout the years of independence, Armenia and China built cooperation on different spheres, and I'm happy that now we have also cooperation, a new layer of cooperation based on the social protection of both countries. And it's interesting that China's sometimes share the same challenges. Finally, I want to emphasize the significance of the crossroads of peace concept put forth by the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia. This concept expands the notion of security beyond traditional military concerns to cover communication, economic collaboration, cultural exchange. It positions Armenia as a pivotal player in initiatives aimed at promoting peace and cooperation in Eurasia. The crossroads of peace concept seamlessly aligns with the Belt and Road Initiative and the evolving multipolar world order too, emphasizing the importance of symbiotic relationships and peace through diverse means. It's not just national strategic paradigm for Armenia. It serves a transformative approach with broader regional implications, offering a model for smaller states to exercise considerable influence on the regional roles and contribute to a more interconnected Eurasian landscapes. Once again, thank you for the invitation and this opportunity to address the conference, and I wish success during the further conference. Thank you so much.
Dear Minister Mkrtchyan, thank you very much. Yes, for your important speech. Dear Excellencies, colleagues, friends, I am honored to invite His Excellency Ambassador Fan Yong. I want to thank Mr. Ambassador. He is a great friend of China-Eurasia Council for Political and Strategic Research, and is always active in building academic connections between Armenia and China. He has supported many events organized by China and the Eurasia team. We are happy that you are here, and you will provide us with important first-hand information and analysis about Belt and Road Initiative, China's foreign policy, and Sino-Armenian relations. Once again, I want to thank Ambassador Fan Yong on behalf of China-Eurasia Council, and I want to give him a certificate of honor for his great work on developing academic relations between Armenian and Chinese scholars. Thank you very much.
I'm very, very pleased to be invited to attend the 5th conference of the Eurasian Research on Modern China and Eurasia. And I'm so happy to see so many friends, old and new. I thank you, Mr. Minister Mkrtchyan, and Member of the Parliament, Mr. Sannikov, and Hakob Abrahamyan, and my dear fellow ambassadors of Kazakhstan, Belarus, Syria, and of course, my dear Madam Ambassador of, I'm sorry, I could not name all of you here. But I'm very, very happy and happy to see you all. And I look forward to your in-depth discussion on the exchange of the views of with your colleagues from Armenia, from China, from other countries along the Belt and Road. And ladies and gentlemen, this year marks the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative, and the past decades has witnessed the historical achievements in Belt and Road Initiative cooperations, a path of cooperation, opportunity, and prosperity that leads to common development has been found. The initiative has brought striking and profound challenges to the world and also made landmark events in the history of the development of human society. The Belt and Road Initiative originated from China, but its achievement and opportunities belong to the whole world. Over 200 cooperation agreements aimed to the joint construction of the Belt and Road has been signed by more than 150 countries in 5 continents and over 30 international organizations with China. 6 major international economic cooperation corridors construction is continuously improving. So namely, these 6 corridors are New Eurasia Land Bridge, China, Mongolia, Russia, China, Central Asia, West Asia, China, Indochina Peninsula, China, Pakistan, and the Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar corridors. Thus creates a comprehensive network, including railways, highways, shipping, aviation, pipelines, and space, and constantly deepening the cooperation in port and maritime affairs in the related countries. A 4-in-1 connectivity pattern of land, sea, sky, and network has been formed. The cumulative total of China's import and export with Belt and Road co-building countries has reached $19.1 trillion with an average annual growth of 6.4%. The cumulative byway investment with the co-building countries has exceeded $308 billion. The regional comprehensive economic partner, of which the direct investment from China, among those $308 trillion, the direct investment from China has exceeded $240 billion. This regional comprehensive economic partnership has come into effect, establishing the world's largest free trade area in terms of population and economic scale. China has contributed to the establishment of the Silk Road Fund and, in collaboration with other relevant countries, funded the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, providing tens of billions of dollars in investment and financing support for over 300 projects under the BII. China, together with its co-building countries, is devoted to inheritance and promotion of the spirit of friendly cooperation along the Silk Road. This involves extensive collaborations in cultural tourism, educational exchange, media, and thinking tanks cooperation, as we did today, and people-to-people exchange. The goal is to facilitate civilizations' mutual learning, cultures' innovative integration, and strengthen the public opinion basis for joint construction of this BRI. The joint construction of BRI has also deeply rooted in Eurasian region. More than 2,000 years ago, the ancient Silk Road from Chang'an went through the Eurasian region, winding westward, opened up a great exchange of different civilizations. Therefore, the Eurasian region became the birthplace of contemporary BII. In the year 2013, President Xi Jinping, during his visit to Kazakhstan, put forward the proposal of the Silk Road Economic Belt. This initiative received a motivated support from Eurasian countries at the very first beginning, making the Eurasian region the starting point and the crucial passage for the BII. With the joint efforts of all concerning parties, the Eurasian region has become the core circle of friends for the construction of this BII. The China-Eurasian Economic Union Economic and Trade Cooperation Agreements was implemented and entered into force. China established a free trade zone with Georgia and signed a trade in service and investment agreement with Belarus. China has been the major trading partner for most Eurasian countries for many years consecutively, reaching new records for bilateral trade volumes. China has been actively engaged in the construction of major infrastructure projects in Eurasian region and has provided the necessary investment and financing support. The China-Europe Railway Express, passing through the Eurasian region, reaches over 200 cities in Europe, and up to now have more than 70,000 trains running in total. And in the total value of the cargoes exceeded $300 billion. China has carried out extensive cooperation with Eurasian countries in the fields of culture, education, youth, media, and tourism, and has continued to strengthen the social and public opinion foundation for joint construction of BII. BII connects the history, reality, and the future in the Eurasian region, and its Chinese-originated initiative has been effective in promoting the common development of the Eurasian regions, with the fruits of cooperation benefiting the people for all the countries. interconnected. Armenia is one of the first countries to respond to the Belt and Road Initiative and takes part in the joint construction. The cooperation of two sides in building the BRI continues to make new progress. China has been Armenia's second largest trading partner, major export market, and sources of imports for more than 15 years now. In the first 9 months of this year, bilateral trade volume exceeded $1.5 billion and showing us a 30% growth over the last year. So last month, Armenian Deputy Minister of Economy, Mr. Mkrtchyan, led more than 20 Armenian companies participated in the sixth China International Import-Export in Shanghai, expanding their further presence in Chinese market. This cooperation on projects between the two countries is constantly growing. China has commenced projects in Armenia, such as the North-South Road construction, electricity transformer substation renovation, photovoltaic power stations, that's solar energies, and the Karps Reservoir renovation. New progress of building the Armenia's public TV's new studio is undergoing well now. Ladies and gentlemen, and dear friends, language education serves as a bridge for communication, and the passion of learning Chinese is on a rise still in Armenia. Armenia Chinese Friendship School has become a symbol of people-to-people exchange and mutual understanding between our two nations. Confucius Institute in Yerevan is flourishing, established 3 Confucius classrooms and more than 10 Chinese teaching points, and nearly 5,000 students get registered in this Confucius Institute. The local and the regional cooperation between the two countries continues to deepen, and now we have new sister province and regions and cities established. This year, Qingdao and Yerevan established their sister city relations and sent delegations visit each other. In addition, several provinces and regions and cities have signed a memorandum of understanding for friendly exchange and cooperation. So this people-to-people exchange between the two nations are growing with the implementation of mutual visa exemption policy and active negotiations for the opening of the direct flights. In October this year, the third Belt and Road International Cooperation Summit Forum was successfully held in Beijing. Over 10,000 representatives from over 151 countries and 41 international organizations attended this forum. At the opening ceremony, President Xi Jinping delivered a keynote speech titled "Building an Open, Inclusive, and Interconnected World for Common Development." President Xi reviewed accomplishments of the past decade and summarized the successful experiences, made an announcement that China will take 8 new major actions to support the joint pursuit of the high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, and proposed common efforts to realize a grand vision of global modernization, thus clarifying the directions of moving forward and injecting impetus into the development for the launching of a new phase of high-quality construction of this BRI. This summit was pragmatic and efficient, highlighting an action-oriented approach. All parties have further strengthened their confidence in participating in the joint construction of BRI, and a total of 458 outcomes has been achieved. China announced cooperation goals with BRI partner countries, including the implementation of 1,000 small-scale livelihood assistance projects, conduction of training for 100,000 people, and enlargement of the amount of joint elaborations to 100. The Minister of Economy of Armenia, Mr. Garobian, attended the third Belt and Road International Cooperation Summit, and he said to the Chinese media, at an interview that the past decade has witnessed the prosperity and development brought by the Belt and Road Initiative for the countries along the road. This is good, but it's just the beginning, and the common efforts in building the BII will advance further in the direction of high-quality development, achieve an even greater accomplishment. The BII is a long-term, transnational, and systematic global project for the 21st century. This first 10 years is only BII's first step on a long journey. Continuing from this new standing point, the BII will demonstrate greater creativity and vitality, become more open and inclusive, and generate new opportunities for both China and the rest of the world. China stands ready to work with our partners, with other countries, including Armenia, in pursue closer and more fruitful cooperation under the BII framework, implementing the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative, and build an open, inclusive, clean, and beautiful world that enjoys the lasting peace, universal security, and common prosperity, construction a community with a shared future for mankind. I thank you all for listening, and I look forward for your in-depth and fruitful discussion. Thank you very much.
Dear Ambassador Fagnon, thank you very much for your important speech. Dear all, it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Gohar Barseghyan, Director of Integration Development Department of the Eurasian Economic Commission of the Eurasian Economic Union. Director Barseghyan is attending our conference for the second time, and she has also contributed a very important chapter to our forthcoming book, Routledge Handbook of Chinese and Eurasian International Relations. Dear Director Barseghyan, thank you very much. The floor is yours. Please.
Thank you very much, dear Mr. Sagan, distinguished guests, dear Mr. Minister, distinguished Ambassador. I hope you can hear and see me well. I would like to greet you from the headquarters of the Eurasian Economic Union from Moscow. Unfortunately, I couldn't, due to my schedule, take part in personally to be in my hometown. I would like to thank you, first of all, on behalf of the Eurasian Economic Commission and personally by myself for the invitation. As Mr. Sagan already emphasized, this is the second time that I'm participating in this event, and I'm very glad to be here. First of all, I would like once again to thank the China-Eurasia Council for political and strategic research for the important work that is being carried out, and to congratulate you on this event, on the 5th anniversary. From year to year, this event stands as a reliable and well-known academic platform connecting most prominent scientists, experts, and officials from all over the world. We in the Eurasian Economic Commission are proud, of course, to be a permanent already participant of this project, sharing our own experience in the sphere of regional economic integration. Firstly, I would like to emphasize that the attractiveness of the Eurasian Economic Union, which unites 5 countries, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzia, and Russia Federation, for international partners, of course, is directly related to the depth of our integration agenda. As you know, the Eurasian Economic Union is one of the most promising integration projects. Although our union is young, it has been successfully functioning for already 9 years and is developing very quickly and effectively. During this period, the total GDP of the Eurasian Economic Union countries grew by 9%. In 3 countries of Union, particularly Armenia, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, the growth was more than 20%, which indicates the positive and tangible effects of integration. It is also confirmed by the growth of mutual trade by almost 2 times over the same period. Another important factor is the comprehensive strategic dimension of the development of the Eurasian Economic Union. In 2018, the heads of our member countries adopted the Declaration on Further Development of Integration Processes within the Eurasian Economic Union, which included the main directions of our development activity. Based on the declaration, in 2020, the heads of our countries adopted the strategic directions of the development of the Eurasian Economic Union for a 5-year period. This is one of most important documents, which includes all spheres of our activities. And jointly with our member country states, we are now realizing the strategic directions. It is already 3rd year, and each year we implement lots of projects, adopt new acts directed to the development of integration processes within the Eurasian Economic Union. And a wide range of issues is directly devoted to the international cooperation issues of the Union, particularly, first of all, with China. And now we have already, we have been working for the new document with planning horizon up to 2030 and 2045. And I hope that in the end of December in St. Petersburg, the heads of our member countries will adopt the declaration of the development of the Eurasian Economic Union for this period, which also includes a wide range of issues devoted to the international cooperation with our partners, with 3rd countries, including the China. The difficult conditions in which the Eurasian Economic Union has operated over the past few years have shown that difficulties, of course, only strengthen our integration aspirations and serve as a catalyst for expansion and diversification of the Union's network of partnerships with 3rd countries and integration associations. We had a difficult period, COVID period. Of course, geopolitical changes has its influence on all of us. Although the Eurasian Economic Union is purely an economic union and we deal with economics purely, of course, the global changes can affect on our everyday activity. And we used to repeat that, and we all can confirm that, of course, difficulties sometimes open new opportunities, as I mentioned. And in this perspective, the Eurasian Economic Union, once again, I would like to repeat, showed its effectiveness. The development of the integration processes within the Eurasian region showed its effectiveness, which helps the member countries to develop their economic ties and to serve for the interests of our citizens. International cooperation of the Eurasian Economic Union is carried out in accordance with the annually adopted document, the main directions of the Eurasian Economic Union international activities, which is adopted each year by the heads of our member countries. As I mentioned, the main document for 2024 is being presented to the confirmation of our heads in St. Petersburg, and China is also included in this main document. This comes to prove once again that this direction is a priority for all member countries of the Eurasian Economic Union. The priorities for 2024 include the interaction with the observer states at a union, Uzbekistan, Cuba, and Moldova. Cooperation with Uzbekistan and Cuba is developing most dynamically. In January, we are going to visit once again to Havana to have our third working group meeting. Recently, we were in Samarkand holding our working group meeting with Uzbekistan. Active work is carried out in the field of cooperation with foreign countries through the conclusion of memorandums, declarations of cooperation of mutual understanding. The geography of cooperation of the Eurasian Economic Union is constantly expanding. Last year, a memorandum of cooperation was concluded with the United Arab Emirates. Now we are holding negotiations with signing for signing an FTA, Free Trade Zone Agreement. We had a memorandum of understanding recently signed with the Union of Myanmar. Just a few days ago, we had a business mission to Egypt to hold negotiations with the African Union, African region. This shows that, as I mentioned already, our international cooperation is expanding, and the Latin American region, the African region, the Asian region, and are expanding. We are expanding our cooperation with all these regions. And just a few days ago, we were in Jakarta holding Eurasian Economic Union Days in ASEAN Secretariat. We had a very fruitful negotiations with ASEAN Secretariat, and we are going to expand our cooperation. So this region is one of priorities for Eurasian Economic Union member countries. The geography, as I mentioned, is expanding, and I would like to repeat once again that China is our important partner. Another track is the development of interaction with the Eurasian Economic Union and regional integration associations. With each of them, the Eurasian Economic Commission is implementing a joint action plan. We actively work on the issue of establishing an inter-bloc partnership between the Eurasian Economic Union, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, ASEAN, and BRICS in the trade and economic sphere. Current level of development of the integration agenda in the Eurasian Economic Union makes it one of the centers of the formation of the multipolar world, as well as of the integration outline of the Greater Eurasian Partnership. This is a transport and logistics mega project, which involves the simultaneous development of transport corridors and digital transformation of roads, creation of a unified customs transit system. China is a key transport and logistics hub in the Eurasian space, as well as the key trade and economic partner of the Union. As Mr. Ambassador already mentioned in his speech, we have a trade cooperation agreement signed with the Chinese Republic, and that is why implementation of the concept of Greater Eurasian Partnership goes hand in hand with the development of the EU-China track. 3 member states of the Eurasian Economic Union, Russia, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, have a common border with China. On the other hand, today, China is one of the leading foreign economic partners for each of the Eurasian Economic Union member states, and first of all, with Armenia, as Mr. Ambassador made a speech, and Mr. Minister also emphasized, and that's why it is important now in the platform of Yerevan to have such a discussion. The priority of development of mutually beneficial trade and economic cooperation between the Eurasian Economic Union and China is reflected, as was mentioned, in the key strategic documents of the Union. As I mentioned in my speech, the strategic directions include this direction. The new declaration, which I hope will be adopted by our presidents, also includes this direction. Among key areas of cooperation are industry, agriculture, transport, energetics, digitalization and services, trade facilitation, and creating favorable conditions for the activities of the member states' companies in the Chinese market. In order to carry out cooperation in these and other areas, the Eurasian Economic Union countries use a number of working mechanisms, and first of all, the agreement which is signed, as I mentioned already. Another track of cooperation between the Eurasian Economic Union and China, the search for mechanisms for coordinating the approaches of the Union aimed at conjunction of the EIU and the Chinese initiative One Belt, One Route. This idea was formulated in 2015 by the President of Russian Federation. Specified mechanisms include a wide range of sectoral cooperation projects with China. Among the most outstanding examples are the China-Belarus Great Stone Industrial Park, the Special Economic Zone, Armenia-Eurasia, the China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan Railway, Kyrgyz-Chinese Agricultural Demonstration Park, and etc. So far, we can state that the already existing interaction between the Eurasian Economic Union and China enabled further conjunction of the Union and the Chinese initiative One Belt, One Route, and therefore provided a solid foundation for the implementation of the Greater Eurasian Partnership concept, in particular by searching for common approaches, compromises, and mechanisms for mutual strengthening of the economies. Dear participants, distinguished guests, summing up, I would like to emphasize that in current geo-economic conditions, various new opportunities are opening up, and we need to use all of them in a timely and progressive manner. We are looking forward to developing cooperation with China within the platforms of BRICS, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and other international organizations with the participation of China in order to provide the addition of the national economies' potentials and the synergy of the strategies on regional economic development. It is encouraging that important topics for trade and economic development of the Eurasian Economic Union and China will be in the spotlight of today's conference participants. I would like to thank once again for attention and wish you fruitful and interesting discussions. Thank you very much for your attention.
Dear Director Barseghyan, thank you very much. Now I want to invite Mr. Hakob Abrahamyan, the Assistant of the Prime Minister of Republic of Armenia. He is the head of the team of Armenia's transformation strategy until 2050. By the way, Mr. Abrahamyan studied at the Wuhan University of Technology. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, dear Mr. Minister, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our foreign guests to this year's Eurasian Research on Modern China and Eurasia Conference in Armenia. Congratulations to us all for taking part in this truly special and significant event, and of course a sincere appreciation is due to the organizers for reaching the noteworthy milestone of hosting this distinguished conference for the 5th consecutive year. To all the participants, your presence in Armenia is highly appreciated as we gather insights to contribute to a better future. I'm confident that these 2 days will be filled with an abundance of great ideas and productive discussions. The theme of the conference, Eurasia, though broad and also geographically broad, holds significant relevance. Most of our key partners are fellow Eurasian nations, some of whom we also share strong historical ties with. China has long served as our second largest trading partner, reflecting growing economic collaboration between our two nations. Armenia and India also share enduring bonds and currently exploring avenues to enhancing diplomatic, economic, cultural, and security cooperation. Armenia, alongside Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, is a member of the Eurasian Economic Union, and it's nice to see the ambassadors and representatives of these countries to be part here, and of course, Mr. Ambassador of China. Our economy and trade are interconnected with these countries of the Eurasian Economic Union, most significantly, of course, with Russia. And currently, we're also experiencing a positive momentum in our relationships with European countries and European Union. There are also other important integrational initiatives within the broader Eurasia. I would like to name Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which we also hope will promote much the cooperation between our partner countries. As Eurasian countries, we must understand and navigate the challenges and opportunities of the evolving geopolitical landscape. As Eurasia becomes increasingly interconnected, it's our collective duty to foster a spirit of collaboration and unity. A thorough understanding of our partners, effective cooperation and communication with them, and aligning policies where our interests intersect are vital for a shared, prosperous future of our nations. In my capacity as the assistant to the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia and as the head of the Armenia Transformation Strategy team, we're actively shaping the architecture to identify our country's enduring priorities and actualize them through an inclusive, participatory process grounded in grassroots involvement and consensus building. However, our efforts will not achieve full efficiency without cooperation, as there is no sustainable future without robust alliances and partnerships. We thus take pride in hosting this conference and bringing together many international scholars here in Armenia, as we strive to provide valuable platforms for intercultural dialogue and meaningful conversations to build such partnerships. This gathering in Armenia should serve as an important point for advancing research and fostering connections. Its significance is even more pronounced today, given the drastic changes Eurasia has witnessed, particularly in relation to ongoing conflicts and the overall escalation of violence among numerous countries in our vicinity. Unfortunately, Armenia has also suffered in this regard. Since 2020, Azerbaijan has initiated intentional acts of aggression and has unleashed violence, resulting in the ethnic cleansing of over 100,000 Armenians who were forcibly displaced from their homes. We also continue to observe the illegal occupation of Armenian territories by Azerbaijan, coupled with state-sponsored Armenophobic hate speech and policies. But of course, we also need to state some positive things that happened recently. But this violence is not isolated, as our region grapples with other geopolitical tensions, as seen in the Russia-Ukraine and Israel-Gaza conflicts. Unfortunately, there are also continuous problems with our other friendly nations, such as Syria, Lebanon, Iraq. But amidst the challenges of war, violence, and struggle, it's essential to also recognize positive transformations within the Eurasian geopolitical landscape. Notably, influential global actors such as China and India are actively implementing strategies to diversify their connections with the North and West. In the present year, we commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative, a significant global endeavor led by China, and I think it's something that we all need to cheer and congratulate. This initiative has emerged as a crucial force in facilitating international trade and bolstering the global economy. At the same time, India is also actively promoting northward initiatives, notably the International North-South Transport Corridor, which may potentially open up a new strategic gateway to Europe, with Armenia serving as a prospective transit point. Armenia is positioned alongside major evolving routes in the Eurasian region. Located between Europe and Asia, our country has long served as a historical crossroad, positioned at the intersection of East and West, as well as North and South. With deep-rooted historical significance, our nation stands at the crossroad of a rich past and a promising future. Armenia is moving in new directions, and we aim for Armenia to serve as a crossroad, fostering positive relations in the region and putting Armenia firmly on the world map. As many of you may know, recently Armenia presented the Crossroads of Peace initiative, and Mr. Minister also spoke about this, reaffirming our dedication to regional collaboration and peace. The Armenian Crossroad endeavors to foster robust trade, cultural and humanitarian linkages among diverse regions and communities. As I have mentioned, we must engage in collaborative efforts to realize the full potential for growth and prosperity of our respective countries. Conferences like this hold profound importance for us, as we rely heavily on the insights and opinions of experts, particularly from the academic community, to inform our decision-making and enhance cooperation. Your participation and involvement are invaluable to our collective efforts in shaping a more prosperous future. I extend my sincere gratitude to you for being integral to this crucial dialogue, and I urge you to continue bringing these invaluable discussions to Armenia. As we embark on these discussions, let us engage in a spirit of open dialogue, fostering an environment where diverse perspectives converge to shape innovative solutions. I'm accompanied today with the fellow representatives from the Armenia Transformation Strategy team who will actively participate in the conference over the next 2 days. Our collective aim is to gain valuable insights from the anticipated discussions. May our deliberations be fruitful, our collaborations enduring, and our shared vision for a better future guide our endeavors. Thank you, and I wish you all a successful and enriching conference.
Dear Mr. Abrahamyan, thank you very much. Dear Excellencies and colleagues, I want to invite His Excellency Mr. Aleksandr Konyuk, Ambassador Extraordinary of the Republic of Belarus to Armenia, to deliver a speech. Thank you.
Уважаемые дамы и господа, приветствую всех присутствующих в этом зале и благодарю организаторов мероприятия за предоставленную возможность выступить на нем.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome everyone present in this hall and thank the organizers of the event for the opportunities to speak at it.
Беларусь является одной из стран-основательниц Евразийского экономического союза, члены которого, как и Китай, привержены идее формирования большого евразийского партнерства. Особое внимание в работе по формированию интеграционного контура большого евразийского пространства уделяется сопряжению планов развития ЕАЭС и инициативы «Один пояс, один путь».
Belarus is one of the founding countries of the Eurasian Economic Union, whose members, like China, are committed to the idea of forming a greater Eurasian partnership. Particular attention in the work to form the integration contour of the greater Eurasian space is paid to the integration of the development plans of the Eurasian Economic Union and the One Belt, One Road initiative.
Результатом этого сопряжения стало подписание соглашения о торгово-экономическом сотрудничестве между Евразийским экономическим союзом и его государствами, членами с одной стороны и Китайской республики с другой, а также плана дорожной карты по развитию торгово-экономического сотрудничества между КНР и Евразийским союзом.
The result of this coupling was the signing of an agreement on trade and economic cooperation between the Eurasian Economic Union and its member states on the one hand, and the People's Republic of China on the other hand, as well as plan roadmap for the development of trade and economic cooperation between the Eurasian Economic Union and China.
Следует подчеркнуть, что в рамках ЕАЭС большое внимание уделяется проекту «Один пояс, один путь», который сегодня, как отметил в ходе встречи председатель КНР Си Цзиньпинь с президентом Республики Беларусь Александром Григорьевичем Лукашенко на текущей неделе 4 декабря в Китае, пояс и путь – это не концепция сегодня, это уже практика, реализуемая.
It should be emphasized that within the Eurasian Economic Union, much attention is paid to the One Belt, One Road project, which today, the President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, noted during the meeting with the President of the Republic of Belarus, Mr. Lukashenko, this week on December 4, 2023 in China. Belt and Road is not a concept today, the solid practice realizable.
Следует отметить, что важным направлением укрепления стратегического партнерства является превращение Республики Беларусь в крупного регионального участника инициативы «Один пояс, один путь».
It should be noted that an important area of strengthening the strategic partnership is the transformation of the Republic of Belarus into a major regional participant in the One Belt, One Road initiative.
Развитие отношений с Китаем – это я особо хочу подчеркнуть, стратегическое направление внешней политики Республики Беларусь.
The development of relations with China is a strategic direction of the foreign policy of the Republic of Belarus.
Последовательно реализуется механизм укрепления двусторонних отношений на высшем и высоком уровне.
A mechanism for strengthening bilateral relations at the highest and high levels is being consistently implemented.
Я думаю, следующий факт является очень красноречивым, и глава государства Республики Беларусь встречался с председателем КНР Си Цзиньпинем 14 раз в рамках состоявшихся визитов в КНР с 2010 по 2023 год. И только в этом году дважды.
Our head of state met with the President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, 14 times as part of his visits to the People's Republic of China from 2010 to 2023, in 2023 twice.
1 марта 2023 года председатель Республики Беларусь, президент Республики Беларусь Александр Григорьевич Лукашенко и председатель КНР Си Цзиньпинь по итогам переговоров в Пекине приняли совместное заявление об основных принципах развития образцовых отношений, всепогодного и всестороннего стратегического партнерства Беларуси и Китая в новую эпоху.
On March 1, 2023, the President of the Republic of Belarus, Mr. Lukashenko, and the Chinese President Xi Jinping, following negotiations in Beijing, adopted a joint statement on the basic principles for developing exemplary relations for all weather and comprehensive strategic partnership between Belarus and China in the new era.
В ходе встречи с председателем КНР Си Цзиньпинем в Китае на текущей неделе, 4 декабря 2023 года, глава белорусского государства ответил, что развитие стратегического сотрудничества Беларуси и Китая определено, обращаю ваше внимание на следующую фразу, определено единством наших идеологий и самой логикой мировых событий и процессов, которые происходят сегодня.
During a meeting with the Chinese President Xi Jinping in China this week on December 4, 2023, the head of the Belarusian state noted that the development of strategic cooperation between Belarus and China is determined by the unity of our ideologies and the very logical world events and processes that are taking place today.
Встреча накануне 1 марта 2023 года лидеров двух стран стала во многом судьбоносной и задала динамику на весь год. Так, с марта текущего года организовано более 120 взаимных визитов. Эти визиты, которые связаны с производством, торгово-экономическими отношениями.
The meeting on the eve of March 1, 2023, of the leaders of the two countries became faithful in many ways and set the dynamics for the whole year. Thus, since March of this year, more than 120 mutual visits have been organized. These are visits that are related to production, trade, and economic relations.
Историческое повышение уровня отношений придало мощный импульс углублению традиционных направлений, дало старт новым векторам и механизмам сотрудничества. Беларусь была и есть и будет надежным партнером для Китая, заявил белорусский лидер.
The historical increase in the level of relations has provided a powerful spark to the deepening of traditional directions and given the start to the new vectors and mechanism of cooperation. Belarus was, is, and will be a reliable partner for China, said the Belarusian leader.
Активное сотрудничество Беларуси и Китая в рамках международных организаций основано на стратегическом характере двухсторонних отношений и совпадение позиций по основным вопросам международной повестки дня.
Active cooperation between Belarus and China within the framework of the international organization is based on the strategic nature of bilateral relations and the coincidence of positions on major issues of the international agenda.
В свою очередь, председатель КНР Си Цзиньпинь на встрече с президентом Республики Беларусь Александром Григорьевичем Лукашенко подчеркнул, что Пекин всегда рассматривал китайско-белорусские отношения в стратегической и долгосрочной перспективе. КНР твердо поддерживает путь развития Беларуси, соответствующие национальной специфике, и выступает против вмешательства внешних сил в политику страны.
The President Xi Jinping at a meeting with the President of Belarus, Mr. Lukashenko, in Beijing on December 4, 2023, emphasized that Beijing has always viewed Chinese-Belarusian relations from a strategic and long-term perspective. The People's Republic of China firmly supports the development path of Belarus, which corresponds to its national specific and opposes the interference of external forces in the country politics.
Китайский лидер напомнил, что по итогам предыдущего визита было принято важное решение в содействии развитию двухсторонних отношений на высоком уровне. За последний год политическое доверие между нашими странами окрепло, и международное сотрудничество стало более тесным.
The Chinese leader recalled that following the results of the previous visit, an important decision was made to promote the development of bilateral relations at a high level. Over the past year, political trust between our countries has strengthened and international cooperation has become closer.
Пекин готов продолжать укреплять стратегическое сотрудничество с Минском, оказывать поддержку и продвигать практическое руководство сотрудничества и продолжать укреплять белорусско-китайские отношения.
Beijing is willing to continue to strengthen strategic cooperation with Minsk, provide support, promote practical cooperation, and continue to deepen China-Belarus relations.
Си Цзиньпинь также заявил, что Китай и Беларусь являются важными силами, участвующими в преобразовании и строительстве системы глобального управления. И Китай готов работать с Беларусью над укреплением координации и сотрудничества в рамках многосторонних механизмов, таких как Организация Объединенных Наций, Шанхайская организация сотрудничества.
Xi Jinping also said that China and Belarus are important forces involved in the transformation and construction of the global governance system, and China is willing to work with Belarus to strengthen coordination and cooperation within multilateral mechanisms such as the United Nations and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization.
Республика Беларусь – экспортно-ориентированное государство с открытой экономикой, развитой промышленностью, сектором услуг и сельского хозяйства. На долю государства, членов ШОС, приходится более 70% всего товарооборота Беларуси.
The Republic of Belarus is an export-oriented state with an open economy, developed industry, service sector, and agriculture. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states of this organization count for more than 70% of Belarus' total trade turnover.
Мы заинтересованы в дальнейшем развитии взаимовыгодного торгово-экономического сотрудничества со странами ШОС.
We are interested in the further development of mutual beneficial trade and economic cooperation with the SCO.
Сегодня настало время перейти к практическим решениям, усилить экономическую составляющую организации, приступить к реализации проектов, нацеленных на развитие экономики наших стран.
Today is the time to move on to the practical solutions, strengthen to the economic component of the organization and begin implementing projects aimed at developing the economies of our countries.
Республика Беларусь всецело поддерживает идею глобального развития. Выступаем за интеграцию и развитие большого евразийского партнерства, сопряжение форматов ЕАЭС, СНГ, ШОС и БРИКС.
The Republic of Belarus will support the idea of global development. We stand for the integration of integrations, the development of a large Eurasian partnership, and the integration of the formats of the Eurasian Economic Union, Commonwealth of the Independent States, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and BRCS.
Наша совместная работа значительно ускорит процессы построения справедливого многополярного мира, поможет сформировать новые транспортные коридоры, усовершенствовать взаиморасчеты, устранить излишние барьеры и создать благоприятные условия для торговли и инвестиций, обеспечив устойчивое экономическое развитие наших стран и рост благосостояния их граждан. Спасибо за внимание.
Our joint work will significantly speed up the process of building a fair multipolar world, help create new transport corridors, improve mutual payments, remove unnecessary barriers, and create favorable conditions for trade and investment, ensuring the sustainable economic development of our countries and growth of the well-being on their citizens. Thank you very much for your attention.
Dear Ambassador, thank you very much for your speech. I hope you will also help to develop relations with Belarusian academicians. And I also want to emphasize our great cooperation with Kazakhstani embassy, with our good friend, His Excellency Bolat Imambayev. Actually, Kazakhstan is very important country in the Eurasian continent, and this February they invited me to visit Kazakhstan and be there during democratic implementation. I was very happy to visit and to see your great capital. I am also very happy to see here our good friend, Ambassador of Serbia, Her Excellency Tatiana Panayotowicz-Cvetkovic. Thank you for coming. And I am also very happy to see first time Ambassador of Syria here, Dr. Nora Asiryan. Thank you for coming. I hope you will come again for our events. Thank you all for your coming. And now I want also to it is my honor to introduce you Ms. Zheng. She is the Minister-Counsellor of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China and Secretary General of Good-Neighborliness, Friendship and Cooperation Commission of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and very good friend of China-Eurasia Council. In 2020, China-Eurasia Council signed a memorandum of understanding with her organization, and we have very fruitful cooperation. In this September, they were in Armenia, and we have very good discussion for strengthening our further cooperation. She will speak in Russian. Who needs earphones, please take it. Ms. Liana will help. Please, video.
Большое спасибо, господин Mkrtchyan. Уважаемые участники конференции, дамы и господа, друзья, здравствуйте. Прежде всего, позвольте от имени Китайского комитета ШОС по добрососедству, дружбе и сотрудничеству выразить искреннее поздравление с открытием 5-й конференции «Евразийские исследования современного Китая и Евразии» и поблагодарить Совет политических и стратегических исследований Китая-Евразия за прекрасную работу и всем участникам за приложенные усилия к конференции. И стоит особо отметить, что Совет неуклонно продвигает академические исследования и внес важный вклад и разумные подходы в целях глобального развития. Хотела бы передать искреннюю признательность и самый теплый привет господину послу Фаню, господину директору Барсегяну и всем коллегам Совета от заместителя председателя КДТС госпожи Цили за теплый прием и уникальную возможность обмена видением и планом будущего сотрудничества в ходе ее визита в Армению в сентябре сего года. В этом году отмечается десятилетие инициативы «Один пояс и один путь». Армения является одной из первых стран, поддерживавших и принявших участие в совместном строительстве «Один пояс, один путь». И благодаря общим усилиям двух стран и активному содействию посольства Китая в Армении развиваются инфраструктурные коммуникации. Китай является вторым по величине торговым партнером Армении, главным рынком для экспорта и источником импорта. Предприятия Армении приняли активное участие в 6-м китайском международном импортном экспо в Китае, что расширили каналы торговли между Китаем и Арменией. 4 пары провинций, областей и городов установили побратимские отношения. Несколько пар провинций, областей и городов подписали документы о развитии дружественных отношений. И в то же время укрепляется и дружба между народами. В Армении интерес к изучению китайского языка увеличивается, бурно развиваются институты Конфуции. А в китайских вузах началось преподавание армянского языка. В этом году мы с большим удовольствием отметим, что выпустились и первые бакалавры по изучению армянского языка. Соглашение между правительствами Армении и Китая о взаимной отмене визовых требований для владельцев обычных паспортов вступило в силу. В настоящее время активные усилия прилагаются для открытия прямого рейса между двумя странами. За 10 лет «Один пояс, один путь» наполняется как практическими проектами, так и институциональными составляющими. Руководствующими принципами стали совместные консультации, совместное строительство и совместное использование в интересах открытого, зеленого и честного развития с ориентиром на достижение высоких стандартов благополучия населения и устойчивого роста. Мир, сотрудничество, открытость, толерантность, взаимное дополнение и всеобщий выигрыш, как дух Великого Шелкового пути, дают неиссякаемую силу для продвижения сотрудничества в рамках «Один пояс, один путь». Как отметил господин председатель Китая Си Цзиньпин, реализуя инициативу «Один пояс и один путь», мы радуем за силу солидарности и взаимопомощи. Стремимся к тому, чтобы всем было хорошо и себе, и другим. Руководствуемся принципами взаимосвязанности и взаимной выгоды ради общего развития и всеобщего выигрыша. Тут нет места идеологической конфронтации и геополитическим играм, нет места односторонним санкциям, экономическим шантажам и попыткам разъяснения. В прошлом месяце в Шанхае состоялось 6-е китайское международное импортное экспо на тему «Новая эпоха. Совместное будущее». 154 страны, в частности и Армения, участвовали в выставке. Большинство являются странами-партнерами «Один пояс, один путь». Экспо позволяет посетителям поближе познакомиться с достижениями стран в области научно-технических инноваций, с их лидирующими отраслями и инвестиционным климатом. Китай создал эту важную платформу сотрудничества, чтобы продвигать развитие глобализации в открытом, инклюзивном, взаимовыгодном, сбалансированном и общевыигрышном направлении во имя совместного построения мировой экономики открытого типа. Экспо также свидетельство о том, что Китай продвигает китайскую модернизацию с целью предоставлять всем странам мира новые стимулы развития и процветания, приносить плоды развития народам всех стран мира в еще большем объеме и на более справедливой основе. Уважаемые участники конференции, на данный момент ШОС включает в себя государства-члены, государства-наблюдатели и партнеры по диалогу 26 стран с населением более 3 миллиардов человек. И в течение 22 лет со дня своего основания ШОС на фоне колоссальных исторических перемен в мире объединяет усилия сторон для создания более плотного сообщества единой судьбы ШОС. Шанхайский дух и дух Великого Шелкового пути созвучны и гармоничны. В этом году отмечается и десятилетие создания КДТС. В качестве профильного учреждения китайской страны по продвижению народной дипломатии в рамках ШОС КДТС развивает свои преимущества, расширяет каналы общения, проводит многосторонние форумы высокого уровня, стимулирует диалог между мозговыми центрами, поддерживает научно-технические инновации, содействует сокращению бедности и проводит популярные мероприятия для укрепления дружбы между молодым поколением, создает мосты для практического сотрудничества в сфере здравоохранения между странами ШОС. Например, с 2019 года в рамках проекта «Экспресс здоровья. Светлый путь» были завершены более 1600 бесплатных операций для удаления катаракты для пациентов стран ШОС. И ГТТС готов в дальнейшем укреплять сотрудничество со всеми сторонами и объединенными усилиями продвигать практическое сотрудничество для расширения академических, торгово-экономических, региональных, культурно-гуманитарных, молодежных обменов, а также обменов между представителями СМИ. Будем рука об руку идти по пути мирного развития, поощрять открытость, инклюзивность и сплоченность, стоять на правильной стороне истории и вносить новый вклад в формирование сообщества единой судьбы человечества. Желаем всем участникам конференции плодотворной работы, здоровья и благополучия. Спасибо за внимание.
Dear Secretary General, thank you so much. Dear ambassadors, colleagues, and friends, it is my honor to introduce you a good friend of mine, Associate Professor Dr. Zheng. He is the director of the World Socialist Institute of Renmin University and an academic advisory board member of China-Eurasia Council. With his help in 2022, we signed a memorandum of understanding with Renmin University School of International Relations. And together, we also co-organized Armenia-China Forum dedicated to 40 years anniversary of diplomatic relations between Armenia and China. By the way, here, me, Ambassador Fan Yong and Zheng Yuntian, we are all graduated from Nanjing University. So Nanjing University have 3 alumni here, only in opening remarks. So dear friend, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Barseghyan, for your kind introduction. Dr. Narek, Mkrtchyan, Your Excellency Ambassador Fan Yong, Mrs. Gohar Barseghyan, Mr. Hakob Abrahamyan, Your Excellency Mr. Aleksandr Konyuk, and Your Excellency Mrs. Zheng. Dear colleagues, distinguished guests and friends, what of this? It's a privilege to address in the 5th Eurasian Research on Modern China and Eurasia Conference. In this Eurasian academic reunion, I feel excited to meet old friends and fully joyful to meet many more new friends as well. Congratulations on the 5th anniversary of Eurasian Research on Modern China and Eurasia Conference. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to China-Eurasia Council for Political and Strategic Research and Embassy of the People's Republic of China in the Republic of Armenia and Mr. John Mkrtchyan. Without their unselfish support, this conference would have been impossible. I would like to acknowledge Dr. Barseghyan's persistent efforts and tremendous contributions to the success of this great event. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative. Full of vitality and potential for development, the Eurasian continent is a key region for international cooperation on jointly building the Belt and Road. In the turbulent and changing world, how to proceed with Asia-Europe cooperation not only concerns the well-being of the people in the region, but also has a profound impact on the development of the world. From this perspective, the significance of our conference will be splendid. My own affinity with Armenia began 5 years ago. In November 2019, I attended the second China-Eurasia conference, encountered many renowned scholars from all over the world. In 2019, I did feel that I was a nervous tourist when I came here for the first time. Yet in 2023, in my second travel to Yerevan, I do feel that I'm coming home. During the recent years, our Eurasian academic team has been continuously cooperating. 2022 is a year of harvest. In April, we held Armenia and China Rethinking 30th Anniversary of Establishment of Diplomatic Relations Conference, marked the first collaboration between two academic institutions, China-Eurasia Council and our World Socialism Institute of Renmin University of China. In June, there are two important academic cooperations between us. First, Dr. Barseghyan was invited to the 5th RUC Area Studies Forum. His speech, China's BRI and the South Caucasus in the era of Ukraine crisis and the multipolar world order 2.0 was fully impressive to the audience and colleagues. Then, after a few days, the Memorandum of Understanding between China-Eurasia Council for Political and Strategic Research and the School of International Studies, Renmin University of China, was officially signed. It is a very significant document that will present the bright future of our cooperation and friendship. In 2023, the newest book, China and Eurasian Powers in a Multipolar World Order 2.0, Routledge Handbook of Chinese and Eurasian International Relations, edited by Dr. Barseghyan, was published. Now we usher in the 5th anniversary of Eurasian Research on Modern China and Eurasia Conference. Through these achievements, our friendship continues to grow and prosper. Like Dr. Barseghyan's very kind and heartwarming sayings that I will never forget, we are not biological brothers, but we are surely ideological brothers. Now, I would like to share my opinions on what Chinese scholars can and will do to promote our research with Eurasian academics. In 2022, area studies officially became the first level discipline in China. This means great chance to us. It is quite a delight to me that more and more Chinese scholars and PhD candidates come to Armenia and participate in this conference. The fact is, the relevant Eurasian papers are still not easy to publish in top Chinese journals. This circumstance reveals that the West-centered paradigm is still playing a leading role. However, we should do our best to prove that the existing West-centered paradigm is not universal. It might need a lot of endeavors, but when we see the sincere smiles from the Eurasian people, especially take Armenian people as example, it will be entirely worthwhile. Action speaks louder than words. Eurasia is the region with the largest population, the largest number of countries, and the most diverse civilizations in the world. We should feel proud of ourselves for being a member of the Eurasian continent, and we are responsible of promoting the legitimate benefit and welfare of this continent and the world. As Chinese scholars, it's essential for us to tell Eurasia our righteous voices. Also, we should be equally good at listening to Eurasian voices. If we do want to promote Eurasian studies in China substantially, we must have academic conscience to respect the Eurasian people, embrace their kindnesses, abandon the pride and prejudice, genuinely become eligible messengers among the Silk Road in the new era. The era and the world order may have been changing as we are discussing, but the pursuit for peace and development and cooperation will never change. To end my remarks, I truly expect the splendid views and opinions from all of you. Hope this 5th anniversary conference can be of great success. I do believe that all of us will have unforgettable memories in Yerevan, Armenia. I will want to take the chance to give Dr. Barseghyan his certificate to appreciate his speech in Renmin University of China. Thank you very much.
Dear Dr. Zheng, thank you very much. Dear colleagues, dear ambassadors, during Eurasian research on modern China and Eurasia, we are strengthening contacts between scholars and institutions. I want to inform you that today China-Eurasia Council for Political and Strategic Research will sign a memorandum of understanding with Hungarian One Earth organization. This organization aims to implement cross-cultural communication between the Eurasian states. The organization is headed by my good friend and outstanding scholar, Dr. David Morris, who has a lot of the experience in diplomacy as well as he was working at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Australia. Please.
Thank you very much to my good friend, Mayor Barseghyan. And what a wonderful job this man does every year in bringing together such an outstanding group of scholars and fostering academic exchange on these very important issues and writing and editing books on the same important subjects. So I think we should be congratulating Mayor Barseghyan. Please join me. And we are delighted to be entering into this partnership today with the Council on China-Eurasia Strategic Research. Our new platform that we are developing is brand new. We've just been signing other partnerships with institutes and think tanks in China, in Australia, in Hungary, and we are about to launch our website very soon. We are already on Facebook and WeChat and TikTok and various things like that, Instagram. So you can find One Earth Village. We are establishing this platform for all of you and for people like you who are interested in the world and interested in international cooperation. But our platform is a non-political, non-partisan place for cultural exchange, for cross-civilizational dialogue, which we think we all need a lot more of in these very difficult times. So I look forward to working with Mayor, and we will come up with some interesting, I hope, projects for cross-civilizational dialogue in the future. So please watch this space, and I look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Dr. Morris. Dear all, I am very excited and proud of our conference. We started in 2018, and we have even attendees. Dr. Mabin is here, Dr. Connor Judge is here. They were here 5 years ago, and they came again. It means that it is worth to attend again. So it is 4 well-known, outstanding scholars like Dr. John, Professor Heinz Gärtner, and others. But it is also for young scholars as well. Many young scholars are coming here and getting knowledge and also giving us knowledge as well. I want to thank many good friends who helped to organize this conference. And special thanks go to my good friend, John Mkrtchyan, Advisory Board Member of China-Eurasia Council, for his great help. Thank you, John. Dear all, thank you very much for joining us and making this conference more important. I wish all of us productive discussions and great results. Now we will have a group photo. Dear Ms. Abrahamyan, please coordinate these efforts.